Hello again, Struck Club. Today I'm bringing you a little bit of a news video for Torchlight 3 and the upcoming recently announced Snow and Steam update. The developers haven't said much about it. They've been a little bit sneaky and providing us some sneak peeks and very cryptic sneak peeks, which you'll see in a moment. So this would be kind of me discussing the things they've announced, the things they wrote, and the things they showed us as screenshots, and what we can deduct by those screenshots. I had the honor of seeing in Friday a preview of the update, but I'm not gonna speak about anything I saw in the preview other than the things that are on the website. So to make it clear, all the information I'm giving you here is reviews. It's not me having the privilege of seeing those things and knowing what's coming, but from talks with Michael Mayhem in the Mayhem Mondays. Michael May, who is one of the designers in the Mayhem Mondays, to those of you who don't know, in Discord, reviews some things. So they've shown us some things, a little bit of the Forged has been shown in action, a little bit of the things that are coming he has told us about. And now let's go through some of the text and things that you can see on the link that's in the description, which is it's a blog post on torchlight3.com called Developer Update, Game Launched, Spooky Updates and Giving Back. A sneak peek at the upcoming update, progress on ongoing issues and community concerns, and an extra life update. I'm gonna skip the launch related stuff and the spooky related stuff because I want this to be mostly about the Snow and Steam update and what's coming and what issues they're working on. So first of all, they're saying we're currently working on an upcoming update for the holiday season. We are still in the testing phase for this patch, but we'll be sharing more teasers and details as we get closer to its release. We expect the update to become testable to players on our public test realm, Steam only, on December 1st, but as always that is subject to change. So December 1st is when it's expected to hit the public test realms, and the public test realms would be open to anyone to create characters on which are separate from your non-public test realm characters as usual. And yeah, you can test some of the changes there. So hopefully it's on the December the 1st, but again, it's subject to change. It might get delayed by a week, it might get delayed by 1 to 3 days, you never know. So the first sneak peek is as a result of this message. So Bean wrote the following: my pets and I couldn't resist taking a sneak peek at some of the new features coming to Torchlight 3 in this latest update. Here is what we were able to smuggle out and reveal. And the first image is this image of an alpaca's butt and neck, back side of the head. But what's important is what's in front of the alpaca. So, and what's in the messages. There are cryptic messages that, for example, it says, this amazing new functional for decoration is something you have been dying to have. And dying wrote as a pun with dice, and we can see some little bottles in the sneak peek. This is some sort of station with dice, so maybe some sort of die related thing, maybe more than just dice. You would have to figure that one out when the update's on the test realm, when I give you the patch overview, the in-depth patch overview. Next, it says this has been something our players have been asking about for a long time. We are so happy to finally review it and see how players will utilize this flashy new feature. And what we can see is, again, kind of covered by the pet. This new weapon is a pretty chill, keyword here, chill addition to the current collection of legendary items. And this looks like a one-handed weapon. It could be sword, it could be mace. It looks more of like a sword handle to me, but yeah, there are new weapons coming, new weapons, ice-related weapons coming, and that's amazing. That is amazing. And they're saying, and this new weapon is as cool as ice. You will now be able to find a whole new collection of gear when the Snow and Steam update arrives. So there's gonna be some Snow and Steam themed gear. Items, sets, etc. I guess. And then the third thing that has been revealed is my good boy. This picture you're seeing is captioned. My good boy is sniffing out all the best updates and is down with this latest update. Down keyword here, down. And what we can see, do you know how there's those little mini dungeons in the outside where you just click on something like this, like a basement entrance, the one that's going behind the pet? So my guess is we're gonna have some sort of a basement or a dungeon inside of our fort. I was asking for something like this that would give us more floors upwards, but I wouldn't mind it if they gave us more floors downwards. They didn't reveal this to us on Friday when they showed us some of the upcoming features, but this is what I can deduct from this entrance. It's in our fort. And it looks like the mini dungeon entrance, so I'm assuming there's gonna be a mini basement or whatever, something small underneath our fort where we can stack some more stuff maybe. We'll see. So it says, and by popular request, the above has also been added to the game. Go forth and expand up your current setup in new and creative ways. And they're saying there are a lot of more things coming that than what I have reviewed today, but stay tuned for our social channel to our social channels and Discord as we start to leak more of what will be contained in the upcoming Snow and Steam update. So overall, we know something that they didn't put into this update that Michael has confirmed, and they have confirmed that they're working on a forged rework. A major rework in many skills in the forged and many mechanics and things like that. I think Steam was one of the mechanics, I can't confirm, but if I remember correctly, I think Michael in one of the Mayhem Mondays confirmed that Steam will no longer dissipate, and he confirmed that we would only have two venting skills, Coal Launch and Vortex Bomb, and he mentioned that Furnace Blast and Fracking Strike are changing to very high heat spending skills with very nice new effects. He also showed us in one of the Mayhem Mondays the Swag Shot as a preview, which looks amazing. I can't wait to test it. But yeah, let's talk about some of the other things that they have mentioned. Game issues and community concerns. Drop rates. I'm gonna put some text on the screen, but you might wanna read it on the blog post, again link in the description. But they said everyone loves legendaries, that sweet golden glow, those crazed Mayhem affixes. Of course everyone will always want more than they're getting. We have always wanted legendary drops to feel special, to make an impact. In early access days the drop rate was way too high initially, and we tweaked it towards our initial goal of 1 legendary per hour on average. As we neared launch, it was clear that legendary drop rates were way too low across the board. We increased that rate and tweaked the source so that you more often get legendaries from champions and bosses, putting yourself in actual risk rather than farming lower level. See, here they're saying farming lower level Gauntlet plus Infamous Fazeer, but Gauntlet plus Infamous was not the best fame gain. The best fame gain is Unique's Infamous. Yet they removed the Gauntlet Infamous, which was not the one we farmed, at least not the one people who knew what the best one was were farming for fame. And yeah, plowing through contract rewards, that's not the way they wanted us to get gear from plowing through contract rewards. At the same time, we also created distinct legendary drop rate tuning values per difficulty to tune it to discourage players grinding on lower difficulties to farm for legendaries to stash. It was all a bit rushed. Yeah, they're admitting it was all a bit rushed. From launch we built a gradual tapering off into the high end of our legendary drop rate curves. The intention was for this was to offset the increased rate at which players in the end game were able to kill monsters, and even faster at higher difficulties, between launch and gear and goblins. So we realized that this reduction at higher levels was too aggressive. Yeah, no shit, it really was too aggressive. The drop rates were just terrible. So we reduced that decline and additionally slightly increased the drop rate overall for gear and goblins, which I'm thankful for. Yet people on console are still complaining from not getting drops. Not just not getting good drops, but not getting any legendary drops is what people on console are still reporting. On PC right now you get a ton of legendaries, but they're mostly Sneku sticks, Stormblades, White Vault Cave Breakers and other things that you don't really need. And the next few Next couple of paragraphs are addressing this. In making our greater gear bundle contract rewards less potent for launch, we may have made them not that great. We have heard you when you say that those bags just aren't rewarding enough. In the winter update, the legendary drop rate from these has been increased, not astronomically. It's not guaranteed, but the chance will be higher now than it was before. So there is that. The legendary drop rate is currently a bit higher than our goal, around 3 on our average. So in the longer term, we may tweak it back down, but only after players are happier with the actual items they are getting. And that's what they're gonna address. After Gear and Goblins, we have heard more clearly that it may not be that you aren't getting enough legendaries. Toss another snack stick on the pile. It's that you aren't getting enough variety of legendaries, and this is exactly true. This is what I was mentioning. In the winter update, we have two solutions for this. Previously, we were skewing all weapon drops towards class-specific weapons to help you more often get your class's unique weapon type. The result of that was that you were much less likely to get legendaries that have class-specific affixes, but are not class-specific weapons. In the winter update, we no longer skew by type, just towards legendary items with class-specific affixes, rather than the more general legendaries that can drop for any of your characters and then be stashed. Additionally, we realized that our armor item data was set up to provide thematically appropriate armor for each of our acts only while in those specific areas, and while they were valid to appear at higher levels. Some other logic was preventing them from dropping in mapworks in the endgame. That is fixed in the upcoming update. We have also heard that when you do get legendaries, aside from the legendary affix, often the stats are not an improvement from a rare. The logic we used to assign affixes to item was built a bit differently for legendaries to try to fit more rigid sets of affixes onto legendaries than the looser rules that we use for lower quality gear. In the Snow and Steam update, the logic is now the same, so you more often get affixes on legendaries that are the affixes you might have had on a rare, which is something I've been asking for, to be able to get flat damages on legendary items like weapons, chests, legs, or to get elemental damage on boots and things like that. So thankfully they're changing this. They're saying, however, just because an item is legendary does not mean that the affix rolls are always better. We believe that with the power and utility of the legendary affix, the affix ranges on the legendaries should be the same as the rare items, although with a plus 20% higher end to maintain viability compared to wife-bound rares. So yeah, a wife-bound rare should be equal to stats in comparison to legendary non-wife-bound, because you can't wife-bound legendary, and that's good news. I was expecting a wife-bound legendary, wife-bound rare to still have 5-10% stronger stats than a legendary, so it's good news. It's good news. We are not losing stats now if we have a legendary, thankfully. And yeah, they're saying don't forget to enchant, and I can agree here. Don't forget to enchant. One more great enhancement to endgame gear is in the Snow and Steel update is that the affix ranges on gear dropped at the level cap creep up higher the further that you progress into Fazeer's dungeon. You wanted a reason to want to get gear from deeper in the dungeon. Now you've got it. See, this is the most terrible thing they could do to the game and to the Fazeer's dungeon. So now people would feel forced even further into doing the boring Fazeer's dungeon. I told them power creep is something that's not gonna be received well, other than the few remaining people who want this. And believe me, there's not that many people who want this. They're basically turning Torchlight 3's endgame into Wolcen. Item power. Or whatever you want to call it. The further you go into the Fazeer, the stronger your items get. And what happens when they add new endgame? How are you gonna handle people getting strong enough gear from the endgame? Why isn't this power creep only while inside the Fazeer? Why are the items that we're gonna get from the Fazeer retaining their strength, their extra stats outside of the Fazeer. That's not a good design. Excuse me, but that's not a good design. That's boring, lazy, bad design. Power creep tied to the rifting system, to the Fazeer. The people who wanted this, shame on you for wanting such a system in the game. Shame on you, you should be ashamed of wanting such a boring, bad system. This is adding a few more nails into the coffin of Torchlight 3. There aren't many people playing it right now. I'm not happy about this, but that's how it is. There aren't that many people playing the game, and this is gonna turn many people away from the game even further. So yeah, some people would return to the game because of this change, and some people would enjoy the power creep because that's the type of people they are. But do you really want to cater towards those people who want power creep? I think this is the worst thing they could have done to the game, and yeah, I know a lot of blood and sweat might have went into making this, but that was definitely the worst thing they could do to the end game, especially when we know there's only one end game type. But think of it in the future. Think of how this is gonna feel when you have more end game things to do, and they don't give you those stronger items, and people feel forced to go do the Fazeer so they can do the things. You're basically catering towards the 1%, towards the people who can beat the Fazeer's dungeon, towards the people who feel like the Fazeer's dungeon is fun to do. And that's not a fun way to do it. You could have just as simply done something like my suggestion with getting buffs and things like that that only last while you're pushing the Fazeer, and when you exit the Fazeer this is not there. Such as my Fazeer's Gifts suggestion on Note, but no, you decide to go the easy, lazy way to add boring power creep that increases the item level. And I still respect Extra for doing what they're doing, but not for this. I'm not gonna respect a change like this in a game like this. Next we're moving on to performance issues and long loading times. They're saying they've resolved some infinite loading screen issues for the upcoming update, but they're still trying to understand some recent reports for some players about performance. Well, everyone has performance with loading times, and those people don't have this performance problem when playing offline. Even I tested it, and offline I load within 1-2 seconds, but when I'm online I might need 30, 20, 40 seconds sometimes to load into a map. So look into your zone controller, or whatever you code it. Look into your netcode, how things are fixed. That's what's causing the wax. That's what's causing the slowness. Fazeer quest and mop issues is the next thing they've addressed. After several bug fix attempts, we have decided to temporarily remove Gun Daddy, as the boss has been problematic and we have been unable to resolve the bug that makes it not appear in Mapworks and Fazeer dungeon. Well, that's a good thing. One boss less, that's not that much of a problem. Additionally, in the upcoming update we have completely revamped the way quests completion drops work for the game. In this upcoming update you should no longer have issues finding enough quest items in the game to complete quests. This is without a doubt the most common complaint and bug we have had, and we hope this finally resolves an issue that has been lingering for too long. Another thing, pets disappearing after traveling. We are aware of reports of misbehaving pets that will often not accompany their owners when traveling. We are still investigating this issue, but we hope to have a resolution for this soon. So most likely not in the Snow and Steam update. Okay, next we're moving on to game timeouts, instance resets. We have recently instituted a timeout feature that logs you out if it detects that you're inactive for 10 minutes. We are adding more feedback to better communicate to players which type of disconnection they have sustained, so it's obvious that they have been disconnected due to lack of activity. So AFK disconnects, I guess, would be labeled as AFK disconnects, and if it's another error it's gonna show you. They're also saying this: we are also reviewing to see if we need to increase the amount of time before the game disconnects you for inactivity, and we will adjust if possible. And the next paragraph states as follows: as for instance resets, we are currently reviewing the current time that is set for instance resets, but would like to be able to implement an option instance reset feature in the future. So force instance reset feature, they're considering this, which is good news. I would really like that force instance reset feature when leveling up certain things, I guess. And they're saying, well, this is not something we are able to squeeze in for this upcoming update. We hope we can make this more opt-in feature in the future, so it's a less jarring experience. Exactly. Don't reset the instance unless we reset it manually. That would be the best thing. Movement skill controls. We have seen some complaints about movement skill, so after completing an audit and grabbing some community feedback, we have made some updates to help improve their feel and usage. So yeah, I didn't pay much attention when they were showing the movement skills. I missed when they were showing the movement skills, but even if I didn't miss it, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I think that they're better overall, and I can't wait to see what they've done with those. And they also said that there's other bugs and issues that are obviously not listed above, because there won't be enough time. They're saying that there's a large list of bug fixes that will accompany the update. And in general, I'm happy and can't wait to see what they've got in store for us. So that was kind of it for this upcoming update, and I hope you enjoyed the information. I hope you kind of didn't mind me getting heated regarding some of the things that are to come, but that's how it is, and we'll see when all the changes come and are testing them in the test realm around December 1st or maybe later if it gets postponed. To get notified when I upload more content for this game or other games like this one, which would be wooters of all varieties, isometric, third-person ARPGs, wooter shooters, and all sorts of wooters like that, you could subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on my content updates. And optionally, you can even join as a member of the Struck Club on YouTube as a channel member to get access to exclusive perks such as special emotes custom made by me, special badges custom made by me that represents how many months you have been a member for, as well as opt-in of editing tutorials that I can give for Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, as well as shoutouts and things like that. And I would like to use this part of the video to thank all my YouTube members and Twitch subscribers. Thank you for supporting the channel and keeping me going. Thank you also for watching this video, everyone. Keep it cool, Struck Club. Until next time, and goodbye.